Welcome, people on YouTube. The launch of my second book is available, The Magic. Good morning, Sherry. Yeah, I'm going to get you guys propped up properly so you guys feel like you're part. And I'm trying to live stream here on both YouTube and TikTok so that it doesn't look like I'm not looking at you and such. So here we are. Thank you guys. This is an exciting day. And I'm just thrilled to see where this goes. My rankings are moving around on Amazon, just so people know. I was a #1 new release. Yesterday, the #5 and #10 in 2 categories. It's kind of shifting now because Amazon's trying to figure out where to put me. So it's going to move around a little bit. I'm not going to get my underwear in a knot about that. It's going to move around a little bit for the next few days until it figures out. And this was really good about the woman and her husband that helped me publish that. They put it in multiple categories. So like business, mentoring, the whole 9 yards. So they put it in a bunch of categories, and that's very, very helpful. I'm also on YouTube at Lisa Bromfield Inspires. So I am on that. I didn't plug my mic in yet, but that's okay. So the launch party is all weekend. I'm going to be in the mornings around 7 a.m. I'm trying to stick to that for sure, even though I'm a little tired. And in the evenings. All right, we'll do the sunset. We'll do the sunset tour. So yeah, all good. Thank you, Melanie, for all the likes. Thank you, Vaughn, for all the likes. And welcome anybody on YouTube if you join. What's the book about? It's a teaching memoir. It's one about my very own. Yes, I didn't check to see my email, hon. Yeah, some people texted me last night with pictures. I got one up on Facebook. I'll double check. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so big day. I have 52 orders so far. I did check. So I think it's right off the bat more than my first book, but the first book wasn't, it might not have been categorized right. This one has been really put in a good category, but a lot of people are buying both books. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. So good morning. Launch day. Yeah. I'm really, really excited to see where this goes. Just staying open to the whole journey. And, the universe always lines things up where they're supposed to be lined up. And that's the hard part of life in general. We all think, oh, I have this expectation. It's going to do this. And all we have to do is say, it's going to do what it's supposed to be universally and energetically. Oh, it's on TikTok. Okay. All right. I'll check on TikTok later. Thank you, hon. Thank you very much. So, that's one thing I talk about in both my books is this whole idea of expectations. Yeah. Easy to get disappointed. We're human, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're in launch party mode. And so this is big. Right off the bat, 52 orders. And I don't think those were the Kindle orders. I think those were book orders. Because I think Kindle is categorized as KENP. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to check. Still learning. Yes, the magic movement. It is the magic movement. Indeed. The magic movement. And that this is really about finding your magic. And you have the magic. It's already within you, but you're not tapping into it. And what you'll learn with the book is mindfulness, anchoring, gratitude, intention, and creativity. And so the creativity part of it, why do you see me carving so many hearts? Yeah, you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn about that. That's a huge part of it. All of the 5 elements are important. They really are. And what I'm probably finding in myself is I integrate all of them every single day. I just got out of, over 30 minutes of meditation and self-treatment with Reiki and anchoring. I anchored this morning. I went outside and I was drawing out and stenciling out some more hearts to carve and to cut out on my scroll saw. And gratitude, I always get up grateful, but it's more than that. The gratitude, you're going to be interested to see how I piggyback that in the book. Yeah, there's a really important thing that I talk about on that podcast at the Adventure Paradox with Kat Codwell Myers. So check that out. Check that out. Nobody on YouTube as of yet, but that is okay. We don't, I don't know how that's going to roll. And I'm going to see, I may, when it's warmer out, I'd be outside. Otherwise, YouTube tends to do a little bit better at night. So we just put the effort in, put the seeds in, plant the seeds. And yeah, so if you're looking for storytelling, if you're looking for inspiration, well, gosh knows my videos do that. And now my books. So yeah, yep. So we'll speak of reality. I have a hard conversation I'm going to have today. Not necessarily today, but at some point with my landlord. I'm going to be out of my bedroom for probably close to 2 weeks because of this flooding. Mitigation's being done right now. The house is safe. They've contained it in that one area of the house. And I'm going to have that conversation where, can you consider some rent compensation for me? My renter's insurance doesn't cover it. His doesn't, his insurance. So this is going to have to come out of the goodness of his heart. Now, his brother volunteered to confront him about it. And I just left him a message and I said, Marvin, I think you better stay out of it, honey. I think it's gonna create a third party thing. And he's already kind of jealous of you and my friendship with you. So, we get into these situations where we have to do a little bit of a confrontation. And the key is, number one, it can't be reactive. And number two, June needs to be calm. Do you think the full amount or are you thinking partial amount? I'm going to be at least out of my bedroom. By the time this is all said and done, it's probably going to be 2 weeks. Full. You're thinking full. I'm thinking full as well. And I don't know what to do if he won't. What if he won't compensate me the full? I mean, I have nowhere to go with the cats. I can't just pick up and leave. And I love it here. So what if he doesn't compensate me the full? I feel I should be. I'm being inconvenienced. I'm exhausted. My clothes are dirty. I have to go laundromat, a laundromat. I don't know how he's going to respond to that, but I agree. I think it should be the full amount. So this is going to be a difficult one, because how do I present it to him? Say, here's what I'm thinking. I've been inconvenienced, put out of my room, and such. Yeah, we could do it over a dinner lunch. That's true. If that happens, I don't know if we'll be going out. There's so much going on right here with the mitigation people in the house. So I don't know how that's going to roll. It's an interesting situation, right? We run into these in our life. So this is real life. But the key is don't make him defensive. If I make him defensive, he's not going to do it, right? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is what the cost would. But you know what he's going to say? They told you don't need to go to a hotel. I know him. The chief tech yesterday said, no, there's no need for you to leave the house. He's going to say, you didn't need to leave the house. So how can you say that you would have needed to go to a hotel? I know him. I know him too well. It's like when I moved in here and I had all the junk here, he said, oh no, this isn't that bad. People move into these situations all the time. There was mold in the kitchen. Mold. It was disgusting. It literally took me 3 weeks to clean the kitchen and I never complained. I never asked for a rent reduction because I knew I had to infuse my energy into this space. So no, he's going to kick back on the hotel thing. We need to think on it, Vaughn. This is a big one. We've got some days. I don't want to approach it right away because we're not over here. They're going to be dehumidifying for 3 to 5 days. The mitigation crew is going to be in here at least 3 to 5 days, if not longer. So yeah, we need to think on this. This is going to be an interesting one to approach. Yeah. Yeah, Marvin just gave me, his brother just gave me the thumbs up. I said, Marvin, we can't have you getting mixed up in this. It's just going to cause more friction. So yeah, I realize, when you get a third party, yes, it's his brother, but he is constantly criticizing his brother. His brother helps him out on the property all the time, and he never says thank you. It's so funny. My landlord is such a good guy, but there's so many lessons he's needing to learn. Gratitude is huge. I called him on it the other day. I said, you never thank me. Oh, but I do. I said, no, you don't. You may in your head, but you're not thanking me. You're not thanking me. And he actually thanked me the other day for something. I can't remember what it was, but he did. He actually spoke it. So it's very interesting challenge when we run into people like this, right? Right? Yeah. He should be incredibly thankful. And this is why, you guys, so I moved in and I started doing all this cleaning, and I kind of got a hit after a couple weeks. I have a feeling I'm here just to get this mess of his cleaned up, and then I'm going to move on. But I wasn't sure because I was so happy here. As you folks know, it's Vaughn for real is a psychic. She's a friend of mine. And yeah, brain not messaging. Yeah. And she got a message, and she's after the fact, when I'd been here for a while, when the uranium plant came in, Avenel said, Lise, when you first moved into this place, I knew it was going to be temporary. Now, what's very ethical about any psychic is not delivering the message right away. She waited. I got this signal about the uranium plant being expanded here in Jonesboro, and I was like, I'm out of here in the next year or two. And then Avenel said, when you moved in, the first day you moved in, I knew you weren't supposed to stay here. I'm not. I'm here to help my landlord. There's transformation going on here with him and his brother too. So there's a lot of dynamics going on here. Am I grateful for being here? Hell yeah. I love it here. I love it. And all the sweat and tears that's gone into cleaning this place. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly feel he's going to be fair and give me the full amount because of my goodness around the garage. I helped him clean out the garage. I'm not going to mention the mess that I walked into the house because he's pushed back on that before. Oh, no, people move into that all the time. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. But that's going to come back on him. Like he's had water issues in all of his houses. There's a reason he's having water issues. Water is associated with emotion. Okay. Water is associated with emotion. Yeah. Let's see if I don't know if Louise has that in her book. I don't know. Let me see something. No, it's not in her book, but I have read that water's associated with emotion. And so he's dealing with some stuff internally, right? He lost his job 2 years ago. Now he's just doing farming, right? He was very generous to the guys yesterday. He bought the whole mitigation crew lunch. So, I want to feel, I asked him today, I said, I need a favor. I need to go to the laundromat. I don't have any clothes. I got to go to Walmart and buy some sweatpants and stuff because, this is the only fresh shirt. I just pulled this out. It just happened to be on this side of the house. But the mitigation people said, no. You want to wash your clothes. So I'm going to wash my clothes, Again, I'm not upset. It's just going to be curious to see how I figure out to handle this situation with the rent with him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very, very interesting. So real life stuff going on. And of course, it will be in the next book. I have to visualize him giving me the $1,500. That's the key. I have to know he's going to compensate my full rent. I have to know. And I can't tell him I'm not going to pay him. That will get him defensive. I can't do that. I'm going to have to accept what he comes back with, and I have to visualize and know in my heart that he's a good enough person that he'll compensate me the 1,500. But money with landlords is a funny thing. That's why I have to be careful how I proceed. You don't want to attack it right away. Sit in it. Sit in it. Sit in it. Yeah. Punt the football back to him. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Then what do I say when he comes back with a lower amount, like $200, $500? Do I say, I don't think that's fair. I think the full amount. You've put me out. This has been incredibly stressful for me. I'm not sleeping as well as I usually do. I've been exposed to some stuff, but everything's safe. The guy said it was safe for me to stay in the house. So I did. They got all the materials out, so I'm not worried. Hey, Deb. Hello, hello. So, yeah, interesting situation, right? We'll see how this resolves. We're going to sit in it. Avenel and I are going to sit with this, right? You don't want to get reactive. That is the key. If I get reactive on this and start attacking him, it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well. So, yeah. Yeah, any of you who are new, my book just launched. It's on Amazon. Go purchase $8.99. I already have. Yeah, you couldn't do it. It's not a big deal. I've been actually comfortable and sleeping okay. I mean, I passed out last night. I was so tired. But yeah, no, this has been really inconvenient. And I was kind enough to help him start cleaning out the room. I mean, that's just me, right? That's me. So yeah, we gotta, look, we get these life challenges coming in, and we just have to say, okay, the key is not to react. The key is don't attack. The minute you do that, that knee-jerk reaction, which is a trauma response, it isn't gonna go well. That's why I'm sitting in it, and that's why you bounce it off a friend. I'm bouncing it off of it's Vaughn, and we're gonna come up with a good way to approach this. And I'm gonna ask him. He already told me he's gonna compensate me in electric. Oh, big whoopee ding dong. The electric might be $70 that he has to compensate me on. $100, whoopee deal. It has to be more than that. So yeah, I might just punt it in his area and just say, hey, look, what do you think is fair compensation? You don't have to give me an answer right now. I want you to sit with this fair compensation on my rent and let it sit. And that might be the way to do it. Plant the seed. Tell him, I don't need an answer right now. I want you to sit with this. And then I might say, I've been very kind. I've been very kind. I helped you with the garage. And I put my heart and soul into that garage, like I told you. I keep the property really nice. I'm doing my best to do, help you with the improvements. And not many tenants would do that. They wouldn't. I'm a blessing here. And so I think if I frame it like that, and that's really the key when you're in a confrontation, frame it, frame it, frame it, frame it in a way that's not attacking. And I think that's going to be the key. I definitely do. Thank you for all the likes. My God, already up to 10,000. You too, I swear. I think he'll be responsive and just no pressure. I don't want an answer now, Alan, but I want you to think about this. What do you think would be fair compensation on my rent next month to take off of my rent? No answer right now. Just sit with it. I've been inconvenienced, and I'm having to do all my clothing. This is a really big, and I'm in the middle of a launch. And I put a lot of goodness out to you in the garage and helping you with that. I put my heart and soul, and I'm just going to trust however this resolves and just leave it that way. And I think if I do that, I think I'll have a better outcome. I know I'll have a better outcome. I know I'll have I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I expect the full. And if he doesn't give me the full, I'm just going to say, well, that's interesting. I would have expected the full if he doesn't give me the full, but it is what it is. So, I'll just see where he goes. I agree. I should have the full. He's gonna rationalize it. This is the way he works. He's gonna rationalize it in his mind that I didn't have to leave the house. He's not holding himself accountable that this whole situation was handled very poorly. We noticed we noticed back in November that the bamboo was buckling, and it never even occurred to us that there might be water under there. And I just read about that. So this has likely been a slow leak from the washing machine for months. Now, does it mean I was affected? No, because everything was covered up. But then I began to smell it, and I said, Alan, we got a problem here. I am smelling mold. And that's when we pulled the floors up and found the problem. Now, I protected him with the insurance company. We knew about, I smelled it and I told him, oh no, it's the P traps. He gets stuck in this thinking, like he didn't want to bring mitigation in. And I said, Alan, you don't always see mold. Oh no, I sprayed bleach. Well, he got an education yesterday. The chief tech said bleach doesn't work. You don't see mold. You do not see mold. It's growing with wet conditions like you have here. And they categorize it as a 3, which is not good. Now, am I safe here? They have it all contained. It's all plastic. It's on the other side of the house. I'm not experiencing any respiratory, a little bit of like a irritation in my throat, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried. The head tech said, no, you do not. I said, if this were your house, would you leave? And he said, no, you're really, really fine. We've gotten all the contaminants out and they're doing some treatment today. So, and if that was a bad decision on my part, then I own it. But the problem with my landlord is he doesn't take accountability. Oh no, it's the gases coming out of the P traps in your drains. That's the smell. I said, no, it isn't. And he wouldn't believe me. And then he came in and he says, it smells like sewage in here. Don't you think? He wouldn't believe me. It's the strangest thinking I've ever seen in my life. That's why I know that kind of friction, that's not, you guys, yes, it's a beautiful place. Long term, am I supposed to stay here? Absolutely not. And he's gotten some bad tenants in. He had a woman destroy his last place. And I thought to myself, well, you have to look at what the end. Remember, it's not punishment. Karma is not punishment, but what you put out is what's going to return to you. All right. Again, it's not punishment. It's an equalizing of the energy. All right. Yeah. So we'll see how this resolves. Hi, Kate. Welcome. The book has released. It is on Amazon, $8.99. And right now, the Kindle is 99 cents until Sunday night. I will be raising the price on Sunday night. That has been a promotional special. Okay. And I thank you all. I have 52 plus orders already. Thank you very, very much. Very, very much. And the rankings, as I explained to all of you, they move around on Amazon. I was a #1 new release. Now it's shifting. It's trying to figure out what category do we put Lisa's book in. And that's what Amazon. So it's playing with the algorithm right now. So that's fine. So I am, good morning, YouTubers. I am live streaming on both TikTok and YouTube and talking about my newly published book, The Magic Roadmap, on Amazon. So please go check it out. And your support and your reviews are very, very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Yeah, very appreciated. Thank you so much, you guys. Yes, I'm looking forward to having some laundry. Good morning, Fantasia. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'll be on again tonight. We've been having, oh my gosh, the sunset last night was unreal. It was like fuchsia across the sky. It was insane. Absolutely insane. It was really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Thank you. 11,000 likes. Thank you guys very much. This has been fun getting on. Gee whiz, in a total different capacity. And gee whiz, it's been incredible. What a journey. What a journey. Yep. Really appreciate it. You guys have been amazingly supportive. I've been working very hard over the last week. promoting the book, talking about the book across all social media platforms. And it's been a lot, right? It's been a lot, but my newsletter definitely paid off in spades. I believe I got a lot of orders from that. I have 1,200 people on my newsletter. You can go to my website. If you go to the contact page, that's where you can subscribe to the newsletter. So I only put that out once a week. And yeah, I put one out yesterday, and just to saying, hey, launch is coming, let's go. So we'll see how people respond. Yeah, we'll see how people respond. So hey, Regina, welcome in. Hello, hello, you guys. Good morning. Kind of a mellow live this morning, just chilling out. And again, thank you for all the likes and all the support. So that's a good story about confrontation. Let's see how this resolves. I agree. I think a lot of times when there's a confrontation, one of the great strategies to handle it is put the question in the other person's lap. Put it in their lap. And I think that the key is, I don't need a response right now, but I'd like you to sit with this. What do you think would be fair compensation for my rent, the inconvenience, and everything that's been going on here during a very important launch of my book, and such? What do you think would be fair? And we'll see what he comes back with. And I'm going to ask him, don't text me the answer. Let's talk about it together. And I don't want a text answer. And he might do that to put the wall up. Texting is a real wall. Texting is a total wall. I can't stand it. My besties and I, we voice message each other a lot on our iPhones or whatever. We voice message each other because there's emotion. You can feel stuff behind it. Much, much more. That's why it's important. Our phones have become computers. It's important to pick up the phone and talk to people. Really important. So It's Vaughn for Real has read the book. She put a review up on Amazon. As soon as you read it, if it resonates with you, go put a great review up. It would be so appreciated. If you didn't like it, that's okay. The way I work with reviews is if I'm not happy with a doctor or a service, unless I'm really pissed off and it's really atrociously bad, I will not put a bad review up. I don't believe in doing that. I don't think it's fair. Some people might like the doctor or like whatever, or the restaurant or whatever. But I just tend not to put bad reviews up. I want to be fair to the other person, unless there's been like a real oh my God, I went into this restaurant and it was filthy and such, that kind of thing. But otherwise, I like to be fair when I do reviews too. Yeah. So, what's today? Friday? Yeah, Friday. Hi, Daryl. Good morning. Yeah, so my book coach and developmental editor and husband, Easy Peasy Books, are the people that I work with in my book, Easy Peasy Books. And they said launch on a Friday. That's the best thing. And we were Dustin, I don't handle confrontation well. In fact, I let people walk on me. I tend to let people walk on me. I do. And birthday weekend. Yes, it is. It is your weekend. It's your month. Yeah, you have to celebrate, Vaughn. Yeah. Yep, birthday weekend. Yep, got to get cake. I always tell people, you know what, look, you eat healthy, but you got to get cake. You got to get cake. That's a good thing. No, Dustin, I don't handle it either. And, I did have some criticism from people when I moved into this place and it was dirty. And then the garage, 33 years of junk in there. And I had a lot of criticism that I should have confronted him with a rent reduction. And I didn't. I didn't because I really felt this was, I needed to come from a place of compassion. I finally put my foot down with him in May, though. The beginning of May, actually end of April, I said, you got to get your stuff out. And I made it urgent. I want it out. I want my space. And that was one thing that resonated with him. I said, I want to claim my space. He said, what? I said, your stuff's in my space. This is my home. And that hit home for him. That really hit home for him. So, and then he got the stuff out, and I really wanted his stuff out of the garage. There was only a few other things so that when I launched my book, I had to clear space. But then, of course, he brings a water issue into the house, and my whole bedroom is destroyed right now. All the flooring is up. Oh, it's a disaster in there. I have to go do all my laundry at the laundromat, which isn't bad. I mean, I don't mind laundromats. You got to take stuff there anyway, but yeah. Just the timing, but it's how you handle it, right? And I'm basically handling it saying, okay, I've got this contrast in my life going on right now. I've got the launch of the book, and I've got like total chaos on the other side of the house. I can either sink and go, oh, poo me, or I can say, can't control it, and I can't. But I'm glad I stayed in the house, because the other day I went in there and I said, Alan, we got a problem. We need mitigation. This isn't drying out. And the guy, his best friend who came in, started putting subfloors down. I'm like, why are you putting subfloors down? It's not dry. And it was handled poorly. It was handled, but it's just another sign for me to move on. You know, that's the universe giving me a signal saying, are you noticing how he's handling things? And as I say, it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles the rent compensation piece. It's going to say a lot about his character. It's going to say, I have put so much goodness into this place. Let's see what happens. I cannot attach to an outcome here. I cannot attach to an expectation. I can say and visualize in my mind, $1,500 is coming my way, which is my rent. We'll see. He even told me in the beginning, most of my tenants would have run. They would have given their 2-week notice. Right? I can't do that. I have 2 cats. I'm happy here right now, and I don't have an alternative. There's not a lot of rentals in the area. They've got commercial stuff in there. They came and gutted the room yesterday. Yep. Mitigation came in yesterday. He only started listening to me when the insurance agent came in yesterday, and she said, you need mitigation here. She said, it's not bad. It's not, even the guys said, the crew said, Lise, this is nothing compared to what we usually deal with. This is nothing. But they're testing the mold and whatnot. But yeah, they've got machines in there, and they're going to have them in there for the next probably 5 days to get it all dried out. The good news, the wood is not mushy. The joists, they're solid. They're just wet. They're just wet. There was one wall that was particularly bad where the leakage got into. So we'll see what the tests come back as, but it's out of my control. The crew member, if you just jumped on, Dustin said, I asked him, I said, if this were your house, would you stay? And he said, we have it contained. We got plastic. You're good to go. So I stayed. It wasn't a cheap thing. Most honestly, I was so tired last night. I would not have had the energy to pick the cats up and go to a hotel. I wouldn't have had the energy. So I just surrendered and said, no, I'm protected and it's going to be okay. I've got a little bit of a dry throat. I think it's the dehumidifiers dry out the air a bit. So I'm not going to get all spinny on that. You know what I mean, you guys? So that's how I manage situations. And why? Because I employ the magic every day. Giving myself a Reiki treatment calmed my whole nervous system. It calmed my whole nervous system. I'm supposed to leave. So, Dustin, I'm getting signals. About a month ago, I learned that Jonesboro, only 5 miles away from me, which is way too close, is expanding a uranium plant that's going to be dumping dust into the air. It's being fought in court right now, but I'm not supposed. That was the sign, and I knew. I'll probably be out of here in a year, more than likely. And I figure, things are gonna set up well for me, whether it be a rental or owning my own home again. Things are gonna tee up beautifully for me, and I believe this is the launching pad. That's why we're in the magic movement. The magic movement. So I surrender. But I have an understanding right now that I'm not supposed to stay here. and that there's a time frame. I feel like it's going to be in the next year or two. I think it's going to be sooner than later. I'm on a month-to-month lease, which is a beautiful thing. So, yeah, the magic movement, baby. This is about employing. You guys, there's no BS here. This is what I use to transform my life. Only 10% of people that read my books will actually implement any of the techniques. Only 10%. That's why people come to me in one-on-one. That's why people come to me for, coaching or life guidance. Yeah, it's half of what I do. More than half of what I do is the life guidance. So yeah, that's what I am employing. I say, okay, what do I need today? My nervous system is definitely shaky with all this going on. I can't stand it when my environment gets shook up. So what do I do to calm my nervous system? I practice Reiki on myself. I meditate. First thing this morning, I was out in the garage, stenciling out some new hearts to cut out today. That's anchoring. I got up this morning and said, thank you. I said, Creator, I can't see the beauty in all this situation right now, but I'm grateful for it. And now I'm very grateful for it, because you know what I realize? What Spirit's telling me? Hello, ding, 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 ding. You're not supposed to stay here. You're not supposed to stay here. That's the signal. The uranium plant, and now this, right? So am I going to start kind of planting some seeds and looking for another place? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. The cats are used to moving. They're used to it. But again, I'm not going to settle. I want a kind landlord, and I want all the things I want and more. And more. All right? Because when I moved in here, I got everything that was on my manifestation list. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely amazing. I looked at the list. I'm like, the only thing that didn't come through was an appliance that was a gas stove. And they can't pipe gas in here or propane. So that was the only thing I didn't get. Right? So we can manifest. And that's what this is about. This is about alignment. When things are in alignment, like this becoming the number one new release, oh my God, right? That's in alignment. It was in alignment for me to land here. Look, I could have really caused a lot of conflict with my landlord had I said, you got a messy garage, you're not cleaning it out. I could have put my foot down and said, get the shit out, or I'm moving out. Right? And maybe I should have set a better boundary earlier. I do tend to be very kind, but I felt, when I saw the garage, I was like, this isn't getting cleaned out overnight. But he dragged his feet. He was constantly dragging his feet. His brother will even tell you he's a procrastinator, wicked procrastinator. But I said, do I want this to disturb my inner peace? No. And I made that decision. I will not let this garage disturb my inner peace. Thanksgiving came, and I was able to get my car in. I was really excited to get my car in there before winter. So that was pretty good. And as long as that was the big goal for me, getting my car in there. The first goal was getting the screen porch built, and I had to get the house cleaned first. The second goal was getting the garage cleaned out enough that I could get my car in. This is a brand new car. I mean, it's nice having a garage. That's the thing. I want a garage for my car, and I got it. So you see, guys, you can create anything you want, and this is what I do every day. What's my intention for today? To just gently ask Alan, hey, what do you think's fair for rent compensation? And leave it. And ask him very gently, do not respond to this question on text. Let's talk. Let's talk. Text is such an easy way to get around things. It really is. Those of you that are just getting on, available on paperback, $8.99. Kindle right now, 99 cents, only until the end of Sunday. I'm going to push it up to full price on Kindle on Sunday. Okay? So get your copy. Get your copy. It's cold out. I'm kind of glad I'm inside this morning doing this live. And of course, I'll be on tonight, but I'm really glad I'm inside because it is super, super chilly out. The crew's going to be here at 9 o'clock, and we'll go from there. Yeah, 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 I am. The emotional and physical. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I'm tired, you're sleeping on the it's like you're not in your regular bedroom. Of course it's gonna have, emotional and physical, right? Gosh, I hardly ate anything yesterday. I was so busy and getting these live streams done and staying out of their way and getting my clothes out of the room and all of that. So yeah, yeah. So, what my intention is that I have built enough love into this friendship with him that he is going to compensate me fairly, the full amount. And that would be appropriate. If he doesn't, this is again, it's just a signal as to his character. I think, money is only energy, but however, how people handle it speaks to their character, right? It totally speaks to their character. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes with it. Yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I may not ask today. I'm kind of feeling like the energy right now. Yeah. So what Spirit's telling me is the energy's just a little bit too amped up right now because they're doing the cleaning in there, and he's still got to deal with the construction part of it. So I might need to wait. Yeah, I think they're telling me settle. So what I'm doing, I'm getting clairvoyance for myself right now, and they're showing me words. They're showing me settle and wait. And that makes sense for me because it's amped up right now. That's it. Got to let the dust settle. Exactly, Kate. That's what spirit is showing me right now. Let it settle. Let this get cleaned. Let them start putting the floors down. And just as the project is completing and we're ready to get my bed in and the room is cleaned, then I say, okay, what are we compensating me for? So we'll go from there, right? Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. The the energy scattered in the house, right? Exactly. Okay, Vaughn. Vaughn's a psychic too. So yeah, makes sense. So the energy scattered. That's why I'm having to anchor, may stay with my meditation, my self treatment of Reiki settles my body, calms my nervous system. But that's what spirit, you see, and it doesn't come in right away. But I've kept asking the question, Spirit, how do you want me to handle? I'm asking you guys, how do I handle this situation? And they gave me an answer while I was waiting. Do you see? Do you see? You got to wait. You got to wait. Sometimes it's going to come through in the silence of a meditation. Sometimes it's going to come through when again, I'm intentionally asking. So, what you guys are seeing, the energy, the words, the universe says, oh, she's asking. Let's channel and answer. Remember, psychic, intuitive, we're just channels. And they showed me the word wait and settle. It makes absolute sense. And that the energy's too amped up right now. Makes absolute sense. So what would happen if I approached it now? It's not going to end so well. It's not going to end well because the energy's amped up in the house right now. Make sense? You guys get it? Yeah, that will go in the next book. Oh my God, I've got to start writing again. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And I just too much going on. I'm like, okay, slow down. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. My new book is now available on Amazon, $8.99 paperback. It's only 78 pages. It's full packed of information. Full packed. Vaughn has read it. I've got, and she put a beautiful review up on Amazon, which really, I couldn't have said it better. I could not have said it better. It was beautiful. Asking for discernment is just as important. Exactly. So discernment. It's so easy for us to knee jerk and say, I'm going to do this now. I got to approach him. I got to blah, blah, blah. And when you go in like a train, the result's not going to be good. Yeah, because I can feel when his energy is amped up. So right now, I asked him this morning, and I sent him a voice message. Alan, I'm out of clothes. I'm completely out of clothes, and everything's dirty from the room. I'm wondering if you can. I realize as a renter, you don't want to be in that house, but you got to break a rule right now. I need to go spend an hour and a half in the laundromat and get my clothes clean. And he said, "What time?" I said, "You tell me when. Anytime during the day. They'll be here at 9, and we'll go from there." And that was received well. So now I planted a seed. I planted a seed that said, I have to be inconvenienced to go do my laundry. But I asked for a favor. Hey, can you come over and babysit? You see? You see how that works? So now he's saying, oh, now I'm being inconvenienced because I have to come over and babysit because of the house. So now the compensation becomes a little more, oh yeah, that's what Spirit's telling me. Now the compensation becomes more, he needs tangible because he's a Pisces. Pisces float. They're like in the other freaking realm. He needs tangible. Now he's being inconvenienced. Now he sees how this whole situation is impacting me. Exactly. I asked, do you see that, you guys? Oh, this is just a beautiful lesson this morning. And I love how Spirit is channeling through me and Vaughn. Well, Vaughn and I are good friends. And she did not put that review was not biased, you guys. I told her, I want you to put up a fair review, please. She put up a beautiful review. I couldn't have written it better myself. No way. So she's also an author, and I wanted her honest opinion. I wanted her honest opinion about the book. So yeah, it's on Amazon, guys, $8.99, 99 cents for Kindle. So so that makes sense, you guys. You see how that comes through? And keep asking the universe. Yeah. But now he's being inconvenienced. So now for a Pisces, and yes, the astrology signs are important. He's being inconvenienced, and now he feels the impact of this thing on him. Because now he's being inconvenienced. Oh, yeah, you don't mince words. Vaughn is a Taurus, and I thank God for having a Taurus in my life. Not because I'm ungrounded, but just because she's just uber. I don't know what it is. I've never met anybody so grounded. You are, nothing twists your tits. Pardon me, but nothing twists your tits. Nothing. I just can't imagine you getting, knocked over from something. You're really just a rock. You're a rock. And I've gotten a lot better. I used to have trauma responses, you guys. I'd fight it and get in a conflict with a family member or whatever, or a landlord. You should have seen my landladies in Gulfport. Oh, Gulfport. They were a nightmare. They were so inconsiderate of me. Oh my God. They were a nightmare. So yeah, trauma response is a real thing. That's what magic teaches you. That's what magic teaches you. So I'll be curious as you guys read it. It's a short read. It's one you're going to read over again. You've got some reflecting questions in there. Yeah, reader reflections. So yeah, see what you think. See what you think. But real lessons this morning. And this is why I want to get out on speaking engagements and whatnot. Yeah, you be comatose. Yeah, you are very calm, Vaughn. You are. You're a great supervisor. I imagine your peeps just love you. I imagine they just love you. Yeah. Yep. So some good real life stuff going on, right? And because I take time to meditate, they call you mom. Yeah. Because I take time to meditate every day, the answers come through. They may not always come through in meditation, but the meditation calms the nervous system and allows me knowing your answers are here. They're within, kids. They're within you. They're not outside of you. Stop chasing it. And that's what this book, both books teach you. They're both teaching memoirs. So that's what both books teach you. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I hope that's a good real, and that's the way that's the way I am. You guys have seen me. I'm in overalls in on some of the, and talking about carving hearts and all this kind of stuff. I am real. I am real. There's no sugarcoating here. This journey sucks at times. It can be really hard. It can be really hard. And that's where we have to have some grace for ourselves. Yep, hearts and cows. Hearts and cows on my live. Well, tonight we'll be outside. It's supposed to get up to 72. I'm going to get my laundry done. And it's going to be a good day. I'm not going to let this, I can't let this. This is out of my control. I can't let this, like, mess me up. Right? I can't let this mess me up. So, yeah, excited, guys. 52 orders so far. I want you to guys keep it coming. I am just going to end my YouTube. I'm going to see how to end this here. End stream, yeah. All right, YouTubers, I'll see you tonight.